Hi, friends. I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.
Today we are here presenting you a little movie podcast starring Zach and Mitch.
Wait, we're doing a podcast?
There's no mystery, Zach. We are doing a podcast.
Ooh, okay. Got it. Yeah. No, I think I'm going to run for the hills on this one.
Oh, really? I mean, you know, I always love those whodunit stuff and everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. I feel that. So do you want to review a little whodunit?
I would love to review a little whodunit.
Do you want to see how they run? No? I see it. When I run it, I just have like really weird flaily arms. It's not pretty.
Okay.
It's a good thing that Disney doesn't force me to run because that would be a very bad YouTube video in itself.
So speaking of that, so if you haven't guessed, we watched See How They Run.
Yep.
Which was made by Searchlight Pictures.
Yep.
Which is a Disney company.
Yep.
So, having said that, we are Disney cast members, and we do not speak for the brand or the company.
And our thoughts are our own.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to go ahead and review this really wonderful See How They Run movie.
Yeah.
Whodunit?
I can't. This movie.
But it's all right. So it was directed by Tom George, and the screenplay was by Mark Chappelle, who actually made their kind of starts in the business through BBC TV. And this is kind of their first big tentpole film.
Having said that, since this is their first big tentpole studio film, bravo to both of them.
Yeah, they handled it well.
Oh, absolutely.
Shots were amazingly placed, and screenplay was very witty and very always on top of it and moving forward. It knew not to overstay its welcome, I feel like. I feel like some scenes really just kept on moving.
I also feel that they probably watched Knives Out, the Rian Johnson film, which one of the most perfect whodunit films you'll ever come across. And they took notes on it, and they knew they weren't going to be Knives Out, but at the end of the day they knew we're not making a Knives Out film, we're making a See How They Run film.
Yep. But yeah, what is See How They Run? Mitch, do you have a summary for us?
Well, I absolutely do. Thank you, IMDb. In the West End of 1950s London, plans for a movie version of a smash hit play come to an abrupt halt after a pivotal member of the crew is murdered.
Oh,
dun dun dun.
Oh yeah, great premise, great set of actors that we can't wait to talk about. But we'll go ahead for our newbies, kind of just go over how exactly we kind of split up our reviews. So for our start, we always like to start with a non-spoiler section. So we talk about the cast, we talk about some non-spoilery things that we want to talk about the film. Then we dig into our review, which we have multiple categories for, which we'll explain once we get to our reviews. And then we go into our spoiler section. So that's kind of how we split it up. Mitch, what did you think about See How They Run?
Well, so Zach, if I may, do we also need to let them know how we review the film as well?
Let's go ahead and save that for when we actually start reviewing our film, so we can kind of go into it, but we can say that we don't do a number system.
Sure.
But we break it down into categories.
I spoiled our review.
It's okay, don't worry.
Look, okay.
It's a little non-spoiler.
So I have to say, I am deathly sick right now. I apologize.
It's okay,
and
he's getting better.
I am not getting better. No, I'm just kidding.
Mitch, do you have something to tell me? Is this podcast about to be over?
No, my apologies, Zach. Okay, so.
Don't scare me like that.
Well, what do you want from me, okay?
Your life, damn it!
Okay, so my first initial thoughts of the movie. So I didn't know the movie was coming out until the week we saw it. And then
you didn't? Oh, I'm kind of surprised about that.
I did not know that. And then I'm like, we probably should see this movie because we were going to see The Woman King for sure, but I feel like we needed to see something else as well. So I messaged Zach. I'm like, we probably should see this. And you agreed. And I'm so glad we saw it. I had the biggest smile on my face the whole entire time. I was laughing. There were points where I was laughing so hard I was crying. And I just, because I love whodunits. I have read so many whodunit books. I've seen so many whodunit films and other theater related stuff of whodunits. But I love it, love it, love it. I feel like the more I talk about it, the more I'm going to be like, you are pushing spoiler territory. But from the cast, from the whole entire like set design, the whole like way the director shot certain sections of the film.
Sure.
And the screenplay was so funny. Oh man, like I said, I was on the verge of tears. I was laughing so hard. I kept looking at you, and you were laughing your butt off the whole entire time. And who's to say that I'm maybe stepping on a big stepping stone here, but I feel this film could be a start of a modest franchise.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's gonna be like a Avengers like franchise, but 100% I could see it stepping into a franchise.
Yeah, but Zach, it's your turn. What'd you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of, as Mitch alluded to, I was laughing the entire time. This film is such a wonderful harkening back to Agatha Christie whodunits that it's basically her commentating on herself. It's so funny.
From Beyond the Grave.
From Beyond the Grave. I feel like it's as if she had like a great sense of humor, and then she just ghostwrited through Mark Chappelle and was like, "Hey, these are all the tropes. Let's play on these." And I know where I want you to play on this. And Mark Chappelle does such a wonderful honor to Agatha Christie whodunits, and does such a wonderful job with adding their own flair to it, as well as Tom George's way of like setting up and getting the performances that he wanted out of the actors and the right shots. It was just such well done filmmaking. Definitely a staple of a great class to put up to Knives Out. I would actually put it on par with Knives Out. Not overseating, not underseating, on par.
And we're so excited for the sequel when it comes out too on Netflix.
Weirdest title ever. But we'll go ahead and move on to our cast performances. So we'll go ahead and talk about, we're going to kind of try something new for this episode. We're going to talk about 3 actors that we really did love, and then we're going to talk about 1 actor that we weren't such a fan of.
Right.
So, go ahead, Mitch. Who is our first actor that we really want to talk about here?
Sam Rockwell as Inspector, not Gadget.
Nope.
But Stoppard.
Inspector Stoppard.
So, I never thought I would want to see Inspector Stoppard. I never thought I would want to see Sam Rockwell as your prototypical 1950s Sherlock Holmes style of inspector, but I got it in this film, and I want more of it. I know they're making more. What's the character's name in Knives Out? The Daniel Craig.
Oh yeah,
I can't think of it with the southern
with
drawl.
the southern drawl. That's decently done by Daniel Craig. But like,
and when he's like saying, and we put there's a donut hole and another donut hole. I kind of want to see more of this character.
Yeah.
And it's purely just because of Sam Rockwell. The character itself was great, had great reasons to be there.
Yeah.
And had something to hide, but it's a whodunit. Everybody has something to hide. But I just want to see more of this character, and I want to see more of Sam Rockwell, because I've noticed since 2010, Sam Rockwell, his performances have gotten better and better and better.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree.
You agree?
Well, okay, but here's the thing. Like, I just love this perfect storm of a character that Inspector Stoppard is, and having someone who's just enough seasoned to the point where, like, yeah, they've been in the business for like a while. He's been like an inspector for, I feel like, probably about 5-10 years, like roughly, like he's been working the beat, but like he's not like ancient, like he's not like almost, I'm gonna use like an Untouchables reference here. He's not Sean Connery, who's been here for such a long time,
right?
So it's great that we have someone who's seasoned enough as an actor to be like, this is what I'm going to do with it and make my own kind of thing on it. And it was just so great. And he perfectly paired with who I really want to talk about next, which is Saoirse Ronan as Constable Stalker. Oh my God, is this character like? Don't get me wrong, Sam Rockwell was really, really great, but oh my God, was Saoirse Ronan just knocking it out of the park again?
Yeah,
because she's perfect in her. It's my first day, first case kind of thing, and like she's bumbling. She's like, this is the murder. This has got to be it. And Rockwell's like, kid, calm down. We can't jump to conclusions the second we get our first story.
You stole what I was gonna say, you bastard.
Oh, like, but she is so lovable. You feel like you are that character, and you're like, that's got to be it. That's who it is. And you're like, just calm down and let the story unfold.
All right. So since you stole what I was gonna say, you are done. It is my turn. So, but that's the thing, like. Watching her on screen, it was almost like I was watching myself and what I would be doing in those situations. Like, I would literally be writing everything down because even when I'm at work or when I'm like everywhere else, I'm like, I pull like full detective stuff. I'm like, you said this, but do you mean this? And I'm just like, it's you son of a gun. And then it's not, so it's not you, but it could be you. Like, I'm immediately jumping to conclusions. And how can you not blame her for jumping to conclusions? She's a police officer. I mean, especially for a 1950s English constable, constable, they jump to conclusions all the time.
All the time.
But bravo, Miss Ronan.
It's a slam dunk again. This actress can do no wrong. I continually love every single thing that she's in and every performance that she gives. That was what made me so excited to see this film, was her specifically. But oh God. All right.
Yeah.
So our next one that we want to talk about is actually a friend from the theater. I don't know him personally, but I would love to.
We'll get him on the phone.
Oh, I wish. But David Oloyu actually makes an appearance as one of the suspects. He plays Mervyn Cocker Norris.
Cocker Spaniel?
Maybe. But he's a playwright. He's not a playwright. Screenwriter.
That's right.
He is a screenwriter trying to adapt one of Agatha Christie's most well-known plays. Yes, The Mousetrap.
Such a good play.
But
I've seen it.
But yeah, what did you think of his interpretation of this character?
So you and I have talked about this a lot. We love old films. We love talking about old films. We love talking about productions of old films. And he just had this 1940s, 1950s screenwriter style that he brought to this character that I've been waiting for so long. And I'm like, yo, it is an exact replica of what I've imagined for a screenwriter back in the day. Because you know how they are in the 1950s. They're like, oh, I'm going to write.
Sure.
I want this. I want that. I want this. I want that. I feel like they clash with directors a little bit more because they weren't, correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but I feel like they were a little bit less collaborative.
Sure.
But that's where I will let you continue.
Sure, yeah. He plays the artiste so well. Because it's so fun to see him play a not off the wall, but very passionate artist who is like, I know my craft. I am that craft. I am the next step in said craft. So to see him play that is so cool. And I have not seen him perform live, but to see him perform on screen is so phenomenal. It was such a joy. And he's very compelling on screen. So I really look forward to actually seeing him in more work.
Now, so we told you we had 3 positives, and we talked about them in terms of the cast performances, but we have one actor's performance that we thought wasn't as great.
Left for wanting. Yeah, that would be Aldrin Brody's character, which is Leo Kopernik.
Adrian Brody,
sorry. But yeah, I really like how they set up the character. I thought that was really cool, but he just played the same character that he does in multiple films. Like, it's the same criticism that a lot of people give Tom Cruise. He really did just kind of play the same guy character, which is funny because obviously this is a very British movie. It's British director, British screenplay, British actors. So you had to have the one American.
Yeah.
And he just played his stereotypical American. So I just wasn't a fan of a lot of his choices because they were choices that any actor would have made.
So I've noticed since he's won for The Pianist, the Academy Award,
which he was good in. I'll give him that.
I feel like he's gotten a big ego about himself.
Uh-huh.
Because I've noticed he did a film called Hollywoodland about the murder/suicide of George Reeves. Definitely recommend that film. He did King Kong. He's done this. He's done a few other stuff. And he's doing the HBO LA Lakers as Pat Riley, which is a definite recommend. And again, when I watched this, he was literally playing a drunk Pat Riley because he was drunk the majority of the time you see him in this film. I mean, exact hairline, exact mannerisms, the exact ego. And I'm just thinking, Adrian Brody, can you do anything other than what you're doing on screen now? Not to say it's horrible, not to say it's bad, but I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what Zach and I are trying to tell you is he not horrible, but we are tired of what he's putting on screen all the time.
Yeah. It's like having like the same shtick over and over and over again. You just kind of get a little done with the pudding.
Yeah.
You know? All right. So that's it that we're all going to talk about our actors. There's a lot of them to talk about, but that's the ones that we want to narrow down and talk about. So let's go ahead and move on to kind of our other non-spoilery stuff in terms of the big standout, I feel, of this film, the comedy.
So going back to my first thoughts, me and Zach, we're laughing our butts off.
This was a hoot.
Yeah, it really was. So it's hard to add comedy to films like these because whodunits, a lot of them can be very serious. But I also feel some whodunits can be too hammy.
Yeah.
I'm going to use not this film as an example. I'm going to use one that we mentioned and another one from past experiences with the films.
Sure.
That had a good balance. Obviously, Knives Out.
Yeah.
But Clue from the 1980s. Such
Cult
a
classic.
Such a perfect whodunit and a very underrated whodunit because it bordered there's been murders in this mansion, but it's funny about why did this happen? Why is this happening to this group? What's going on? Where are the police? They were supposed to be here 45 minutes ago, but the police already came. And it helps that you have Tim Curry. But this film, the whole time I'm watching this, I feel like it was a mixture of an Agatha Christie, Clue, and Knives Out. Because it had this comedy that I haven't seen. Like, can we talk about like the inspector, constable, inspector? So basically, it was inspector,
constable,
inspector.
I like. Hey, no, it's great.
It was, or the gotta go to the dentist.
But yeah, there's such a great comedy in this movie. And the best summation of the comedy, I'm not gonna lie, when you go to see this film, you're gonna see something special when Saoirse Ronan and Sam Rockwell first meet. That is the perfect summation of what this comedy is when you see it. So once you see that scene, you'll know what you're in for, and you're in for a ride. Oh God, I could go into detail about that first scene between them, but I won't. I won't. So the comedy is one after another. You're going to be belly aching like the entire time. The next thing that we really want to talk about though is the setting. And as two actor boys, I'm not going to lie. This was something this is another thing I was really excited for and eating up, like just to kind of get into it, was the fact that it's a whodunit based around a play on the West End, and you're just stuck in a theater. Like, oh my God, my theater brain is exploding. I cannot believe they did a whodunit on a theater with a very famous play, let alone. So I love that aspect. I love that we played around in the lobby, on stage, in the wings, backstage. Like, I was so hooked on it. One thing that I wish, and this is just my theater self wishing, I wish we just kind of stuck to the theater, but some of the comedy actually comes from, you can't just stay in one location. You got to go everywhere. So they kind of have a joke kind of about that, how like you kind of have to go everywhere in order to be like a genuine investigation. You can't just stay in the room, even if the killer has to be among the people, you know? So I get it for comedy and story's sake. They had to spread out, but I wish we stayed a little bit more with the theater. But Mitch, what did you think of this setting?
Oh, I love this setting. So I've been in London in the West End. This was 2017. So 60 years before where this takes place. And I've seen the Mousetrap. I know exactly where it is. And I literally... Now, it's not a spitting image of where it was because, you know, things.
Sure.
But I almost was like, man, if you were never in the West End and you, like, were walking around there and you saw that, like, okay, I can believe this because, you know, someone may never been there. But it still was like a spitting image of 1950s London, and everyone's tried to do a replica of 1950s London. Everyone has tried it. Everyone has either succeeded or failed. Majority of them succeeded, and this film easily succeeds. And it also brought back good memories of being in the theater. I was hoping, because you know, there's that when you say Macbeth in a theater, that curse, I was hoping somebody was going to say
I was hoping so too, but I think they were a little too superstitious since they were filming probably inside the theater.
Yeah,
so.
But one more quick thing.
Yeah.
So, this film is sort of like an Agatha Christie whodunit.
Based around an Agatha Christie play. It's so fun. It's a great play on it. But yeah, it literally centers around... a production of The Mousetrap on West End, and someone is murdered, and the after party of the 100th
it was their 100th performance.
100th performance. So really freaking fun and great to be kind of self-referential on the Agatha Christie kind of thing.
Yeah, but don't forget, you know, with Agatha Christie, there's gonna be that one big mystery.
Mitch, watch your place in the presence of Agatha Christie. Come on, man. No spoilers. No spoilers.
That hurt.
Come on, buddy. All right, it's fine. We'll forgive your transgression. We'll go ahead and move on to our review. So, Mitch, as you pointed out at the beginning, we kind of skipped through what exactly we do for our reviews. How do we review movies here on Little Movie Podcast?
So, what we do here...
Stop being a baby and talk normal. You got this. I believe in you.
So, what we do here, we set it up into 3 categories. We have Feed It to the Dog Jazz, meaning we did not enjoy this film at all, but we still want you to see it, form your own opinion, and let us know if you don't agree with us. That's fine. Because if you don't, that's fine. Our second category, it needs to cook a little bit more, maybe a different change in director, change in screenwriter, change in cast performance, or maybe it just needs like a little fine wine or something like that. Oh, and our third is we ate it up.
Yeah.
Meaning we enjoyed it. We definitely recommend it. You definitely should see it in theaters. Yeah. If you don't want to see it in theaters, as soon as it's on streaming, watch it.
Yep.
There are 2 more categories, but we don't talk about them. Unless, Zach, do you want to?
Well, let's go ahead and move into my review, can we?
Go ahead.
All right, so like I said, I really eat up so much of this film. There's a lot going for it. Does it have a few things that are wrong with it? Sure. Mm-hmm. In terms of, characters, there were some characters that were just kind of thrown in there just because they were stuck inside the theater when it happened, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. But all the performances were solid. Mm-hmm. So much so that we kind of had to kind of go through exactly like who were we going to talk about on this one. It was kind of fun when we kind of had this rule of 5 that we introduced, who exactly we were going to talk about. And then we kind of go into like to the setting and everything, and we kind of just go into everything that we kind of went into. This was my audience. I'm a sucker for it. And we have one category that we hold above Eat It Up, which is a clean plate. I fucking licked this plate, man. This was great. I'm going to give it our highest honor of a clean plate. Y'all should see this movie because you're in for a ride. And I'm not going to lie. I said that I put this on par with Knives Out. Fuck Knives Out. This is better than it. I freaking loved it. Go see this movie. Please go see this movie because like how you said, if this is a franchise, I want more of this. I want to see Saoirse Ronan and Sam Rockwell go solving cases together because this is going to be fun. But sorry, I might have stole a little thunder out of your sails. Mitch, what did you think of See How They Run?
It's funny. So after the film, I talked to you.
Yeah.
And I said, this is borderline clean plate.
Yeah.
I went to sleep on it, and I know we agree on films a lot.
Yeah.
We've only disagreed on a few films.
Yep.
But I have to agree with you on this one, and this is also a clean plate for me.
Oh, yeah. Double clean plate. There we go.
Yeah. We can't say enough about this film. You need to go see it. It's such a fun film that anybody and everybody will enjoy it. Now, and also, one quick thing. It's not long. It's only 90 minutes.
No, it's such a well-paced movie. They use every second to their advantage, and they just go for it. I freaking loved it. It was so good.
We can't talk so much about it because it's just gonna get so fun, and we have a time limit. But I just love this film. Y'all just see it for God's sake, please.
Oh yeah, 100%. But
okay.
I think with that, let's go ahead and move into our spoiler section. Can I go ahead and do the siren?
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Huh?
You remember what they told us in the film?
Oh, what did they say?
So, for those of you not aware, Agatha Christie hates spoilers.
What? No, wait. This is our thing.
Wait. Calm down. And they tell us at the end, just like in The Mousetrap, that since we saw this film, we are accomplices to murder.
Police. I guess with that said, I mean,
no spoilers.
I guess we're not gonna spoil. If you want, okay, just a minute.
We'll be right with you. Nobody home.
If you liked our review, go ahead and move on to. Okay, we get it. We'll go ahead and subscribe.
Email us at elppodcastmc@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. If you have any questions or any reviews that you would like us to do, okay, just let it go. My name is Elsa.
Wait, you're Zach.
Am I Zach or am I Mitch? I'm gonna go with Zach.
You're Zach. I'm Mitch, and this has been
an excellent little podcast.